With Kaliningrad encircled and the naval airbase in American hands, US Marines launched a bold amphibious assault on Baltijsk, storming the port and swiftly cutting off the Baltic fleet at anchor, paralyzing Russia's naval presence in the enclave before a single ship could sortie. But Moscow answered in kind. While US forces consolidated in the south, Russian amphibious groups mounted a tactically complex landing on Estonia's northern coastline. Deploying under the cover of darkness, they inserted troops behind the Narva line, aiming to trap retreating units between the advancing main force and fresh marine infantry. Welcome back to Broken Arrow's story campaign. My name is Ty. We just assisted the Marine Corps to take Baltijsk. Now it's time to help the Russians.
So, what's the situation, Colonel?
Narva is ours, and half the Estonian army is on the run. They are heading towards Tallinn, their capital city, where the rest of their forces are concentrated.
We need to take this city as quickly as possible to force the Estonian government to surrender and bring this conflict to an end as soon as we can. If we let their forces regroup, taking the city will prove a long and costful task.
Yes, actually, I have a plan. We have several Zubr hovercrafts stationed in St. Petersburg. They can transport heavy equipment, including tanks, and have the range and speed to reach Tallinn before the retreating troops. Our landing zone will be Muuga, a large industrial harbor situated about 10 kilometers east of Tallinn. There is a road from the harbor leading directly to Highway E20, where we can intercept the retreating troops. The lake and swamps surrounding this crossroad create a bottleneck we can exploit to our advantage.
Captain Battalion, I hope you're not prone to seasickness.
Of course not. I am trained to fight in every possible situation.
That's wonderful. The Colonel was thinking of doing without your services for this mission and going with the commander along.
What? Why?
I think he doubts about your abilities. But don't worry, I've convinced him to take you in. I hope you'll rise to the occasion and show them what you're capable of.
I will not disappoint. Thank you, Lena.
No familiarity in public, Battalion.
Sorry, Agent Morozova.
Dismissed.
The helicopter can't get any closer without risking detection. Drop the special forces in the water, and then they'll swim the rest of the way.
Ooh, we get to use airdrop special forces. Very cool. KA-29. Oh, it's a shame we don't get to see him jump out the side.
So, how cold is the water, huh? It's like jumping into an ice hole after a sauna. Perfect.
All right, boys. You know what to do.
All right, we have to
According
take
our
that building.
intelligence, the garrison here is minimal, but I don't want to take any chances, nor give the enemy time to react. So, the PDSS will eliminate the sentries and make sure the landing zone is clear.
Understood.
Easy enough.
Fast and clean without unnecessary noise.
We'll advance on this main
Commander,
building here and have a
be
look around.
careful. The PDSS act in small teams, but they are tough guys, so don't underestimate the enemy.
No sentries, no patrols. They must be afraid of the cold. All the harbor guards must be sitting in one of their security posts.
We've spotted an infantry unit.
Find them, eliminate them, and send the signal once it's done.
Why all these precautions, Colonel? We could simply disembark tanks and BMPs on the shore and crush them.
Captain, maybe one day you'll find yourself in an ambush and barely escape with your life like I did. That day you will understand the value of prudence.
This story is not part of your memoirs.
No, it's not.
We'll wait for all the infantry to form up before we enter the building. We've spotted someone in the objective building. We're just going to pour fire onto them, try and suppress them, and then I'll send a unit or two across the street to try and breach the building under the cover of smoke. We've got 2 units here. Our guys are fitted with grenade launchers, easily destroying that close-by unit. We might send 1 unit across the road once we suppress this machine gunner. Here we go. Smoke. Sprint. Alright, 1's across. He's going to put fire on them and the rest of the team can follow. We've lost a man. Probably should have sent 2 teams across the street. And these guys will breach while they're distracted. Breaching the special forces in gives you the flashbang ability, which instantly suppresses infantry in the building, which is pretty cool.
The guard post is under our control. Great job, boys!
So, can we start the landing now?
The shoreline has been secured. We can send the first hovercrafts. Commander, your targets are these 4 key locations on the right flank. Captain Battalion, you will handle the positions on the left flank.
So far, the Russian campaign's been sort of set up for what appears to be co-op.
Allocated us several super hovercrafts. Powerful machines from a glorious time. We only have a handful left, so use them wisely.
Well, I could say that the same for the American campaign, actually, because you do have Williams as your offsider.
Sounds like too easy a task for me. I bet I'll be done with my zones before the commander captures one of his.
This is not a competition, Battalion. This is a combat, блять, operation. Help me secure the perimeter if you're so afraid of being idle.
Yes, sir! I'll give a warm, high-explosive welcome to any enemy unit approaching the harbor.
The Zuber hovercrafts are pretty cool. From my memory, they are fitted with a rocket system and AK-230 Sea-Whiz. Cool looking things.
What's your favorite instrument, Commander? Mine is Stalin Zorga. Огонь!
He's gonna open fire with his rockets. Yes, he is. You call that a barrage? It's not a barrage. Well, let's send ours over here to do the same thing.
How is the operation going?
But we'll do a full
Have you started the landing
barrage.
yet?
And we've seen an enemy here.
We're in the middle of it, so if you don't mind, I would like to focus on the task at hand. You'll get my full report after the operation.
That infantry unit just got deleted by the Zubers. Close-in weapon system.
Nothing has changed. We thought the burden of bureaucracy was a thing of the past, but the only thing that has changed is the color of the uniform.
Well, from my point of view, bureaucracy has never looked this good.
Battalion, you should think with your head and focus on your objectives.
We killed something. Killed another thing. Very dense barrage. Let's head over here and do the same to another position. Prepare it for our advance. There's not much left of that guard post. Our Conquerors has a great line of sight down that main road. And it looks like Battalion is bringing in some supplies for us. Ooh, firing an RPG at us, but it missed because it hit the rubble. So we'll park the BMPs behind the building. We won't use them, and then we'll charge up our swimmers here. They're in this back building. Yep. Instantly, it was a spike they launched at us by the look of it. We killed that team pretty quickly. Hit a supply dump. We still have more ammunition, so let's just repeat that. And then send the Zubra off. I won't use helicopters yet, will I? Let's bring one in. We could consolidate all the supplies around into one area. When I can afford it, I might bring in another 29 come off to ferry our swimmers around. They can use that to resupply. Alright, we just spent some time bringing on extra forces. And we have contact here at this outpost. No doubt there will be more infantry inside. We didn't put any barrages on this one. It's a pretty risky move here for our BMP-3s, but I don't mind. I just want to get it done quickly. So we'll charge them right up to the front door and try and dismount into their enemy building. It's a Stinger team. ATGM close range. I don't think it's going to be effective, but we managed to get the infantry in through the front door before they could do anything. There is a machine gunner team here who have RPGs, and we've lost a BMP-3. It's no big deal. This position at the end has been obliterated, so there shouldn't be much down there. Bring in the Kamov 29. I could drive the hovercraft right up to the guard post. It's obliterated with our close-in weapon system. We are short one BMP, but that's okay. We can replace it. Pretty sedate mission so far. Not much going on here at the port. Looks like Batalon is about to finish off his last guard post. And let's pick up these supplies about. We absolutely smashed that ATGM team at close range. They couldn't do anything about it. Looks like there's a surviving unit in the rubble. But our helicopter there opening up with a barrage of rockets. Nobody's home. Uh-oh. Taking heavy machine gun fire. Helicopter's out of rocket ammunition now. Machine gun fire doing a fair amount of damage to the BMP-3. Unless they had a long-range RPG of some kind. Mi-38 took more fire from the weapons team. But that should be it now. Oh shit, no it's not. And they shot down our helicopter. Amateur. Sorry guys. Fortunately, all the ammunition on board the helicopter didn't explode. Those are dangerous buildings to garrison because they have very big weaknesses to their line of sight, and we're going to exploit that now. Straight in the front door. And the last of the garrison have been destroyed. Nice and easy. Now we can prepare for our ambush.
Are you having trouble reaching your objectives, Commander? Mine were completed a long time ago.
That's enough bragging, battalion. Remember your rank. The commander doesn't charge in blindly like you do.
Well, that's debatable. After we lose a helicopter.
With Muuga Harbor under our control, we can now set up a logistics hub and begin preparations for the next stage of the operation. Well done.
So, what's our next move?
We'll follow this road to where it meets Highway E20 by the lake. This crossroad is the perfect spot to set up an ambush. The enemy units retreating from Narva will arrive from the left and try to reach Tallinn on the other side.
Okay, it looks like we can spawn units directly into the port now without using.
Reserve units are available for deployment. It's a one-time delivery, so make it count.
I think I might take the recoilless rifles. We get 4 of them.
They'll
be useful in a vehicle ambush.
World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with the good old SPG-9s.
Alright, let's spend some time consolidating and mustering up.
Excellent! Reinforcements are en route. While the commander sets up the ambush, you, battalion, will remain in the harbor and organize the defenses. The enemy may attempt to retake it.
I'm going to exploit battalion.
My men are fully prepared to engage. I request permission to support the ambush.
Captain, you are to stay in reserve. Over-concentration of forces in a single area will hinder overall efficiency.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to use my Mi-26 to take all of battalion's supplies. He doesn't need them. They have been requisitioned by the commander.
The crew of Reconnaissance Suit 24 shut down earlier tonight has just activated their beacon. No idea what took them so long, but we need to reach them before the enemy does. The signal is weak and coming from the direction of the lake. Looks like they had a rough landing.
Alright, looks like we'll have to set up a search and rescue crew as well, so I might deploy 2 Ka-29s, fill them with infantry, and we'll set up a search grid and try and find the downed pilots. It says near the lake, but I'm going to search the entire map while we muster up our forces. As for exploiting battalion, I'm going to take his supplies with the Mi-26 and I'm going to send them back to base so I can have the requisition points, and I want to deploy my entire army for this ambush. The whole deck is coming out. Battalion is dropping off a lot of supplies, which I think he wants me to use trucks to ferry it around and to support my forces, but I think I will just steal the requisition points and bring my supplies on as I need them. with choppers. If I bring the whole deck out, though, I think that will mean they'll have zero income. So sending that chopper back to base will net me at least 180 extra requisition points, plus the refund on the chopper.
Engines rumbling through the winter storm. Tracks cutting through wet snow. Every sound echoes the past. The first Chechen campaign still lingers in my mind. Back then I was a captain, just like you. Young, untested. I had no clue what we were about to face.
My memories are much different from yours, Comrade Carter. I was just a kid back then. But I remember the sound of the tracks in the snow.
Alright, so I have my search team ready. I'm going to send the PDSS and the Gorno Strelki on a search mission. And an SU has, I believe, 2 pilots. Or pilot navigator. So we'll have 2 seats spare in the choppers. I'm going to make heavy use of my Razvedka. Great sniper sort of scout unit. Right, the search grid is set up. And the main goal here is to look for extra supplies and any enemy positions, as well as our 2 pilots. But I'll have to keep a heavy hand on those choppers so they don't get shot down. The Mi-26 is continuing to steal supplies. No sign of any enemy at all. Not a single soul on the streets. But we are headed to the estimated location now of the pilots. Mi-26 is making a final run back with all of Batelen's supplies. Here we are, we found them. Let's deploy the infantry. Get the wounded on board, if any.
Crash site, they're alive. At least one of them is seriously wounded and require emergency treatment. We've established a field hospital near the harbor. Bring them here, or load them onto a transport and send them back to base.
I'm assuming the PDSS would want to blow up the jet, but we'll pretend we did that. Alright, there's enough room for everyone to get home. KA-29 spotted an infantry unit over here, as well as supplies. So we're going to secure these. And our special forces will kill anything that needs to be killed. Now I need to start thinking about the ambush. We need to set it up on the Highway E20, but I don't just want to set it up where the objective is. I think I really want to have a layer of attackers, because I have a feeling that, you know, it's going to be pretty hard. There's no combat so far in this mission. So I have to assume that there will be a large force coming down the highway. And I want to set up in multiple positions with scouts, with all the different weapons teams working together.
The injured crew reached the hospital in time. With proper care, they may even return to duty.
So once our special forces have secured all the supplies, which they have done, they're going to move up towards the highway and take up positions to scout. So first contact in a long while. We lost a man. It's time to advance up the main highway. Our special forces are in position. Their job there is to spot anyone that's slipped through our ambush line. And I believe they're retreating to a city up the road, so there might be a garrison that comes out to help the retreating units once the ambush is in. They're going to scream for help if it happens. I have already scouted the highway with my helicopters, but it looks like we do have units hidden here in the forest. Only seeing them when they open fire on our units. One of our BTRs is hit. Let's have a better look here in the forests. I'm going to start breaking my units off here at the highway intersection to set up the first line of contact. So we'll send a nice mix of different infantry units and their vehicles up on that side, and we will repeat the process on the other side, and I might keep my tanks at the main crossroads or in the nearby forests. Making sure that I put my ATGM teams in the buildings with the best line of sight. Chopper's taking fire. That BTR needs to stop before it gets hit with an RPG. I'm going to charge across the road before they see us. Get in there and shoot them. And we will set up here too. There is already a supply dump here. And using the last of our requisition to bring in some supplies for the main battle. These guys look like they will have great line of sight of the highway. They don't have the weapons to engage the highway. But I might set up ATGMs and recoilless rifles here. We have 5 tanks to work with. Various transport units that don't have infantry in them. They should be able to get RPGs onto the highway from those buildings. We have 2 AA units, which I will station in the forests. Oops, someone's fired an ATGM at us. And there's a guy in the forest. Rockets from our helicopter putting some suppressive fire on that team in the forest. It was close for the BTRs, but now it should be fine. We will need to clear that forest properly. Set up our backline supplies a decent distance from the highway. Send in a recoilless rifle in here, looking down that street to the left. And we've got another ATGM and recoilless rifle in that BTR. This has been a very quiet mission, so it's giving me ample time to plan my ambush. If you're going to play the mission, I probably recommend you do that too. It's a massive hint. And And it's going to take some time to bring reinforcements from the port to the highway when the shooting starts. I think we're almost ready. Make sure everyone's vehicles have line of sight of the highway, but limited so that we can react to return fire. See, that would be a dangerous place there because the whole column could shoot at us. So we'll reverse him up against the building so he can only shoot at things that pass directly into his line of sight. I have to assume they're going to try and secure this village here to the left. So I've tried to set my defense up to attack the highway as well as the road that enters this little town from the left. We did take an ATGM shot from the garrison here at the objective. We're going to push with our tanks. They have unlimited ATGMs as long as that supply dump's there, so let's keep that guy out of danger and just push forward with the armor. They don't have enough rockets to shoot us all. Pull the Kamov back. Did its job. Damaged tanks can take advantage of the supply dumps that are already there.
Alright, you're in position, Commander. The first enemy units arriving from Narva will be here soon. Our drone has spotted them on the highway.
They should be repaired in time, that's fine. Bringing in backup supplies, this is the stuff that I'd planned to bring in before I knew that there was stuff here. And that's going to support our ATGM teams that are looking straight down the highway. Dropping off the supplies, the vehicles, the ATGM teams, and the recon teams that will spot for them. That was all in the MI-26. The recon vehicles there are really...
These are Estonians, or rather what's left of them.
The recon vehicles are fitted with recoilless rifles. But they are just throwaway units. My job is just to throw them at the front line if one of my teams here are taking pressure. Send the scouts out. Hold fire. Sprint. We need to hurry. One either side of the highway. I think the Gorno-Strelki also have an ATGM. So we have a lot of firepower, anti-vehicle firepower looking down that highway. I'm going to reposition one of the ATGM teams to the other side of the highway just as a backup in case they make it through. First unit's taking fire from our marine units.
The group has walked into a trap, but that was just a small group of already beaten up units. It means they were not aware of our presence, but also that their best units must be fighting as a rear guard. Now they know we're here, and they won't fall for it twice. Fortify your defenses! Cover the flanks!
I'm ready to assist. The port defenses are already reinforced, and there's nothing happening on my end.
I need to spread my tanks out.
Great, battalion.
Then why can't I join the battle? Everything's going according to plan so far.
So far, Captain. Stay in reserve. I'm sure your troops will be needed in due time.
Alright, I've set my tank platoon up in 5 points. So you should have 2 supporting each other at all times. These guys have great vision on the highway. We can't really do much if they get to that point. It's really just so I can hunt them down if they make it through. Oh, our sniper's under attack. He was in the open. We might need to use that recon team of vehicles I was talking about. We can't afford to lose that scout so quickly. You have to get in the habit of stopping your own vehicles because they tend to overshoot before they start firing. Nice little counter push. We did lose one Jeep. They're not very useful because they can't carry anyone. That sniper is critical condition, having to apply his own first aid in the forest. But our tank has arrived on station to defend the highway from that side. We've got two over here. I don't know how I did that. Oh no, that's a BMP. Getting blind in my old age. Counterfire there from an ATGM team. Managed to hit our T-80. Need to reverse it back to safety. I was too late on the smoke deployment. We need to charge our infantry forward for them to be useful at this angle anyway. I need to kill that recon vehicle. Hopefully this next ATGM is going for him. Let's push forward. That might have been a bad time. Because I didn't get my sniper team in position in time, I don't have as much sight on the road as I should have. Oh, we've got M1A1 here. M1A2, rather. Where is my anti-tank support on the left side? We're going to have to send the helicopters over there for rocket strafe. Our infantry have to retreat. Just too many. It's unfortunate. Circle him around out of range of the Stinger team. Recoilless rifle managing to panic the M1A2 crew.
Bad news, Commander. Enemy units are advancing from Dublin and approaching from the opposite direction on the highway.
Having trouble getting through this thing's armor. Yeah, a few side rockets worked.
Those appear to be United States Marines units sent to reinforce the defense of the city. Don't let them link up with the retreating Estonians.
I need to get these guys out of danger. Fresh units need to engage those panicked infantry that are advancing towards us. Had a nice stash of supplies here. These infantry units need to head back to the marshalling point. BTRs will provide covering fire. Once they're repaired anyway. Bringing fresh supplies over. That sniper team's in big trouble. And the Marine units are heading down the opposite side of the highway, so we're about to get entrapped. So we are definitely being pincered here. Oh, BTR, get out of there. My recoilless rifle teams can't see the highway. BMP-3s have taken damage. Another M1A2 just destroying one of our BMPs. Rocket barrage from the KA-29 suppressing the M1A2. We just lost a T-80. And the cross-map Stinger taking down our KA-29. Reversing along the forest line, trying to get away from the advancing units. High explosive shell from a T-80 in the forest, putting a fair amount of damage on this unit here. I'm going to hit them with the sniper team.
To gain access to
yes, please.
Assets from the fleet.
Exactly what we need.
A pair of Kamov K-52K Katran helicopters is available as reinforcements.
There are a lot of Marine units coming up the highway. One of our Special Forces units just got caned. We need those KA-52s ASAP.
Colonel, these helicopters were not supposed to be the part of your operation. Please refrain from appropriating equipment assigned to other missions.
Shit. Just lost the Mi-26. Stinger team racking up the kills.
What are you talking about?
Just stick to the equipment that was assigned to you in the future, Colonel. Have I made myself clear?
Crystal clear, ma'am. Let's talk about that once the operation is complete.
There is nothing to discuss, Colonel. Over.
Our tanks are doing really well on the right side. They're concealed from the highway until they enter this little kill zone here. It's an M1A2 right at point blank, taking fire from three sides. I'm using my BMP-3 to put some pressure on that ATGM team in the back line. They managed to get one away. Not enough damage to finish them off. The Kamov 52s have arrived, taking out the Lav AD before it could hit them. Some splash damage from that rogue Stinger. The KA-52s are just going to wreak havoc. 24 ATGMs loaded on the pylons, as well as rockets. As long as I keep feeding them targets, they will be doing a great job. And I need to keep that Stinger team away from them. This tank has to take a risk and cross the highway. We're going to move up some reserve defenders, a recoilless rifle and an ATGM to take its place. Sniper team's going to try and take out that ATGM team. Got an M1A2 charging towards our T-80 position, but the KA-52s have taken it down. BTR-82 taking damage from a goddamn ATGM team. I'm going to send the Special Forces after them. recoilless rifle, able to fire on infantry too. Ka-52's running out of ammo, and he should probably split them up. So we always have fire support.
Troops arriving from Narva made contact and should be there soon, which means that you're now fighting the elite rear guard of the enemy retreating troops. Our losses are mounting. They're clearly not backing down. Battalion, it's time for you to step in. Send your troops to reinforce the intersection. We must hold the line.
Yes, sir, Comrade Colonel. I'm deploying my forces immediately. Commander, my men will be there soon. Let's see who kicks the most American asses.
Let's call in some reinforcements. They can come up the highway while with Battalion's force. So they should arrive here all at the same time. More supplies. Going to swap out our Ka-52s. This one's not fully reloaded. The other one is Winchester. Need to get our chopper out of there. Dropping off supplies for our ATGM teams in the forest. It's a bit risky having it right on the edge there. Special Forces getting spotted by an M1A2, and now it's charging at them. It's an M1A1, it's a Marine one. So you know it's just loaded with high explosives. There's not much they can do either. The Special Forces only armed with 40 underbarrel grenade launchers. Not sure of the size for Russia. American drone? Not sure who shot it down. Oh, it was our anti-air units with their radars on, of course. We managed to hold that position, but these guys are in bad shape. The recoilless rifle's out of ammo. We have a while until reinforcements arrive, but so far okay. We're doing okay. You certainly didn't want to have all your units in the circle. That would have been a recipe for disaster. There isn't a lot of micro required this time. This Ka-52 is almost resupplied. We're going to cycle them out again. This one is empty. It looks like the left side has given up. Let's swap over to the right side. But then again, I don't have any vision. So it could be very well there. Let's pull our chopper out. Dropping more supplies here to our helicopter station. I think that might be it. No, we got more coming up the highway.
Our reinforcements from Narva are almost there. Hold the line!
So the force that we used to attack Narva has almost arrived. That tells me that the very last stragglers from the retreating units are pushing up on the left side. I can see that on the minimap. I'm just going to concentrate on the Marine units. They're a little bit tougher. With the exception of the M1A2s, they're very good tanks. Alright, they've finally spotted our ATGM team, so now they can put suppressive fire on them. And they have run out of ammo, curiously. Cannot resupply when they're under attack, is that the case? They're doing so now. Well, they're just using missiles as fast as they can load them in the tube. Sniper is taking a lot of damage. Special Forces being overrun by a tank.
Finally, our troops from Narva are here. Now that's what I call a multi-layered encirclement sandwich.
A multi-layered encirclement sandwich, hey? Yeah, here come our forces. They've got a drone, I can hear it. Forces here on the left side are starting to crumble. It's because I've left most of my forces at the supply station. I haven't committed them. Let's push them now while we have help. The infantry will take a while to get there. Let's sprint them to combat. And they have surrendered.
The enemy group coming from Narva has surrendered. We didn't leave them much of a choice in this situation, did we? Now, let's focus on the enemy group arriving from Tallinn.
Готовы к выполнению любой задачи. Потопали. Морпехи на связи.
Let's mount up my infantry. Looks like the last push is happening now.
Залезай на броню.
Our infantry in the factories are engaged. We'll pull our chopper out. Bring in more scouts. I don't think they'll make it here in time, even in a chopper.
The enemy coming up from Tallinn is surrendering en masse. What's going on? They're not even trying to organize a defense. I don't understand.
I have no idea. Maybe it's a ruse. Stay on your guard.
Hey, check it out. Friendly forces are coming up behind them from Tallinn. How's that possible?
Got the Ka-52s watching them just in case.
Greetings again, Colonel. As you can see, your little operation gave us just the diversion we needed to launch and landing directly in the harbor of Tallinn. The city was taken with almost no resistance, and the Estonian government has been captured. They've just signed the capitulation of their forces.
And I suppose notifying me about the existence of the second operation was too much to ask, Agent Morozova.
Secrecy is of utmost importance when conducting that kind of operation, Colonel. And I'm in a very good position to know that people talk. One way or another, they always do.
Very cool mission, I enjoyed that. Bit of a relaxing mission until right at the very end of there. If you want to see the next one, make sure to tune in. It will be from the United States perspective. Commander Tyrael, out.